Hey guys, I'm Aditya Thakur and welcome back to Get Set Code by Newton School. We are almost at the end of our Python playlist, and in this video we'll check out some of the examples in Python that you can try out. There are different examples also available on the Launchpad section, but in this video I wanted to take up how to approach a certain problem and how to write code for it. So let's get started with this video. Before we go into it, a quick introduction to Newton School. It is a platform which prepares you for your career in tech. So they have courses designed for freshers, working professional, and also for women with no tech background. They'll first train you for 6 months, help you become an amazing full stack developer, and have a network of 300 great companies. So after the training is done, they'll ensure you get placed in some of the best companies in the country. And the best part is they have a pay after placement program, so you don't have to pay anything until and unless you are placed with a minimum 5 lakh CTC. So a little about the Launchpad initiative. It's taken by Newton School for people who want to start coding from scratch and learn the different basics of different programming languages for absolutely free of cost. This video would also be available on the Launchpad section. There you can practice several quizzes and assignments related to the course. So what I'll do is I'll quickly go over to newtonschool.co and you can just log into your account. So this should take some time, but after you are logged in, what you need to do is go over to the playground section and go down to the algorithm playground. So you can create a new playground or use an existing one. So there is this question, as in we need to check if a particular substring is present in a given string or not. So let us say there is this let us say sentence which is Aditya is an instructor, and you need to check if the name Aditya is present in this particular string or not, right? So how can you do that? Basically what you can do is you can create a function that would check it for you and pass the two sentence and the name to it, and if it's there it would return true, otherwise it would return false. Or so you can if you find that particular name in that string, you can print out it's present yes and no. So here's how you can do it. Basically you can create a new function called this check. This check would take in sentence and the name. So after it has it, there is this so yeah, let me just write it down once and then I'll explain it. So yep. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to check if a particular substring is present or not in a given string. Let me run this program. And what we have done is basically we have this sentence which has the sentence that we are trying to run it on. So Aditya is an instructor, and there is this name which is called Aditya. Now what I have done is I have basically created a new function called check and use the define keyword to make this function. it takes in this sentence and name, and there is this method called find. So we have been checking like the different built-in methods and what is all available to us. So if you're given a problem like this where you need to check if a particular word is present or not, what you can do is you can use basically type in the string, that is sentence, and dot find, and pass in the name that you want to check for. So if for some reason it is not present, what would happen is this statement would return -1, and if this return is equal to -1, we'll print out no, that it is not present. Otherwise, if it doesn't return -1, which means that the particular name is present in the sentence, so it should print out yes. And what we have done is basically pass the two values to this function in the main, and once it will run, it would take in this sentence name, check if it's present or not, and print out accordingly. So since this prints out yes to the console, which means that yes, that particular name is present in the string. Let us change it to something else and try running it once, and you'll notice like this would print out no to console. So that is one way of doing it. And that was like a short example of this function called find. We have been discussing all these different functions, so I wanted to take this example. One more question that I want to take up is how to find the largest element in a particular list, right? So this question would now be program to find the largest element. Right, so let us say like there is this list of marks given to you, and you want to find the maximum value. So there is this built-in function available to us called max that you can use, that we have seen in one of the previous videos. But what if like you aren't allowed to use built-in functions, as in when we used to study Python in the college, we weren't allowed to use built-in functions. So how would you write a program to find the largest element? So one way of doing it could be in terms of approach. That is, you have this list, and what you'll do is you'll basically create a new variable, save in the first element of that particular list to that variable, and then just loop through the list. So if you find a element that is bigger than the first element, so you will in that variable save the new element, and gradually as you will proceed through the list, you'll find like which is the biggest element, and then you can just print out this variable and you'll have the maximum value. So that is how basically you can approach the different problems. Think logically, as in what could be a possible way to solve it, and that is what we are trying to basically do in this video. So let us say there is this list of marks. Students are getting like 50, 70, some are getting 10, 89, and 11, 12, right? So this is like a marks list, and you want to find like what is the maximum of this. So you can basically use the built-in function, but we aren't allowed to do just that. So what I'll do is I'll create a new function called largest, and this largest function would take in this marks list and also the length of this list, which would be n, and I can just get the value of n using the length function. And largest marks n, and what you can do is for you don't even really need length, like you can just use the variable called max marks, which would basically save in this marks 0 element, and you don't even need this length, because let's not use the built-in function as such at all, and you can just type in for marks in marks for a particular mark in marks, let us see, like if this mark is greater than the max marks that we have saved. So we'll make max mark equal to mark, right? And then we'll just return mark. We'll just return max marks, right? Okay, and this should be outside. It should be like after the for loop is closed, and then we can have like a answer or variable which would just have this largest and pass in this marks marks list to it, and then just print answer. Let's try running this once and then I'll explain it to you. So yeah, we got 89 printed to console. So this is like one way of doing it, as in you don't have to use a built-in function. You have this list of marks which basically saves all these different marks that a student has in a particular exam. You have defined a new function called largest which takes in this list. So what you will do is you will basically set the first element, that is 50, to max marks. So if you'll find a number that is greater than 50, obviously that would become the maximum marks. If you will have like a lower number, so you don't want to change that. So what you are doing is basically looping through this list. For every mark in this marks list, we are comparing this mark with the maximum, with the already said maximum mark. So if this mark is greater than maximum mark, so we'll just like replace that maximum value with the new number, and after it's done we'll return this maximum mark. So you'll have this answer which would get the value of the maximum marks, and you can print out this answer. So it is like a really easy approach to find the maximum value when you're not allowed to use a built-in function like max. We aren't even using the length function, because initially I thought like we could use the length function to get for I in range and use it like that instead, but you don't really need it. So that is how you can do it. So these are like very basic programs that we have covered in this video, but these were sort of like examples to get you started. There are a lot of problems available online. There are a lot of examples available online that you can try out, and in this particular playlist we have like covered all the concepts. We have checked out loops, iteratives, we have checked out classes and everything. We have even seen the built-in functions in the last few videos, and we have covered a lot of stuff. So definitely like with this video I think we would end this playlist. Definitely like after you are done with these videos, you should try out the different programs or problems available to you. Try learning by definitely writing down code, because coding is done best when you actually write it. And yeah, that is it for this video. So we come to the end of this playlist. Thank you so much for watching. If you have been following this playlist throughout, and yeah, I am Aditya Thakur. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn if you have any questions, and thank you so much.